Welcome back. It is time to take things to the national level. Now, weather this week has not just affected high school and college football, but it's even played a role in how the Eagles and Redskins are preparing for tomorrow's 1 o'clock game. And to talk about it, we have CSN's Ben Standig, who's been there to witness this all week long. Ben, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Now, first, to address this weather, how have the Redskins been preparing for Sunday's game, and have you noticed them doing anything different at practice?
This week they tried to take advantage of the wet conditions as best they could, simulate what might be the case on Sunday. Obviously, it hasn't been nor'easters or potential hurricane weather, but it's been wet here, so they've been having the players, handle the balls. They've even been dunking the balls in buckets of water to try to get it soggy and, try to get the players to run with their cleats, get a feel for the conditions and if they have the right footwear and all that. So, they're doing what they can because it's not going to be perfect conditions, and they're trying to do whatever they can to get used to it.
All right, well, one thing for sure, wet surfaces are never good to play on, and that could potentially pose as a setback for players with borderline injuries who are trying to play this week or make a comeback. Do you think that this weather has affected Jay Gruden's decision to play certain players for tomorrow's game?
Football is played in bad conditions, and they're just going to have to do the best they can. But probably the injury I'm interested in the most is cornerback Chris Culliver. He's been limited all week in practice with various leg injuries. He actually didn't even participate the last couple of days. The Redskins may just be saving him because they want him to be ready for Sunday and not trying to put him on the field in these sort of bad spots. That said, if Culliver were to miss the game outright, they would only have one of their top cornerbacks still available on the team. Everybody else, the guys they just picked up in the last few days.
All right, well, yes, Culliver is still questionable. The Redskins did announce that today. D'Angelo Hall is ruled out. Perry Wiley is out as well. Deshaun Jackson is also out, and his return is still very much so unknown. Bypassing all of the Redskins' injuries, do you think that they can pull off the win tomorrow?
To me, it's basically a kind of a pick 'em game, but put the weather aside, I actually do think the Redskins have a good chance to win this game. I think the key for them will be stopping the Eagles' running attack, and that's one thing the Redskins' defense has been really strong at this year, stopping opponents on the ground. Not only does that put more pressure on Sam Bradford, who's struggling, that takes away from that fast break offense that Philadelphia really wants to deploy, but if the Eagles can get that offense going, that could put a big toll on the Redskins' defense. It's going to be missing some key people one way or the other.
All right, well, it should be interesting to see how the Redskins defense does tomorrow against the Eagles. CSN's Ben Standig, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Spencer, I honestly think that this game is going to get pretty ugly out there tomorrow. We've seen how much weather can play a factor into wins and losses, but I'm going to go with Philly. I think that the Eagles' run game will step up and make some big plays. What do you think?
I actually tend to go pretty much the exact other way with it. I think the weather definitely favors a team, again, that wants to run between the hashes, and that's Redskins all the way versus Chip Kelly, who love to try and put those athletes out in space, kind of gets fancy with it, and that's not going to help out in this weather at all. The field conditions favor the Redskins. I think they have a slight edge, but it's going to be ugly. I agree with you. It's going to be somewhere around 17-14, but I think I got Washington winning that one. All right, it's time for our last commercial break, but coming up next, it's time for what everybody has been waiting for, our top plays of the week. Keep it right here.
Jose Ortiz, offensive line, defensive line, Milford High School. You're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.